Hello
Hello.
there.
Hello and welcome everybody.
We're so glad to see you here.
It's
We hope,
here. It's actually finally happening. I can't
oh,
believe
I
it.
know, I know. We've been talking about doing a show about Firefly for so long.
After
And
all these years, it's
yes,
finally happening. Here we are.
and we
I can't
actually
believe
have
it.
a reason to start talking about it too. With,
I know. I know. How exciting is that?
mm-hmm,
Everybody,
because,
welcome to the shiniest little show in the verse, right? Hi everybody. Hi Jeff. Hi Mark and Chantel. How is it
Chantel, all
going?
right. We
Nice
got
to see
Jeff
you
and
both.
Aaron, all kinds of
Oh,
good
hi
people in
Erin.
the chat.
Hey. Well, especially since Erin is here, we have to give a shout out to these amazing graphics that we see right here,
Yes,
all throughout our show. That was designed by our own Erin Waldron from the VCN. Thank you very much, sir.
yes, thank you, Aaron.
We appreciate all your effort. And let's real quick give a shout out to that super fun, super perky, super firefly-ish music that was playing during the
Mhm.
intro. That was David Joseph Wesley. He is a composer, and he actually created an entire album of Firefly music for the Firefly Online game that was supposed
Oh,
to have been created in 2015. 2016, nearly a decade ago. The game never manifested, but he was able to publish an entire album in 2018. It was called Music to Smuggle By. And
I like that title.
it's wonderful and a lot of fun tunes, a lot of fun music in there. And I bought it years ago, and I was able to find him through our little brown coat network and ask him if he would be okay with us using the music for our new little Firefly VCN show. And he was so kind to let us do that. So
Oh,
big shout
that
out
is
to him. You can
awesome.
find it online anywhere you buy your music. So if you want to find some super fun stuff, there you go. Thank you, Dave. Um, please go check it out. It's a lot of fun. So yes, that's right. Oh, Chantel, you're all the way up to episode 5. Way to
All
go.
right.
Excellent. You're ahead of us. You're ahead of us. Now
Yes.
you're going to make us seem slow because
Uh-huh.
we got so much to talk about. I think it's going to be a while before we get to episode 5.
Yeah, because we're only talking about the first half of episode one tonight
Yeah,
because
yeah.
it was done as a two-part.
Well, and not only that, but there's so much to talk about. I think we'd be here till midnight if we
Yes.
tried to fit everything in. So
Hmm.
it'll be back like the before times in Earth that was when you used to have to wait a whole week to be able to figure out what happened next. There was none of this binging or streaming stuff, right?
Oh, and it was actually when it first aired more than a week oftentimes. I mean, because the show was preempted for
Oh,
baseball and
basketball, all the things. It was ridiculous.
Fox's whim. So it's just like, oh, we'll show it on this night instead of its usual Friday time slot.
Yeah, and like the local syndicates could just override it and show whatever they wanted to show. They could just completely. I had the worst time. Do you remember when we used to have to program VCRs? I
Yes.
used to have the exact time set with a couple minutes on either side, and it was
Mm.
every Friday at this time. And I never knew what I was going to get. We were living in Alaska at the time, and so the hours were way off. And so it always recorded when we'd already gone to bed. And so I'd never know what I'd see when I would wake up over the
Oh,
weekend, what was going to be there. I had no clue, but most of the time it was not Firefly.
I think I only actually caught 2 episodes live when they aired,
Really?
and
Really? Okay.
it was like, that show was so cool, and what happened to it?
Yeah.
And I don't know, I can't remember when I did finally see the whole thing through, but I know it must have been after I bought the box set
Okay.
and, was
Mine
able to
was
sit down.
after I saw it came out on streaming, I think. I think I saw it the like when I finally had. No, it was back when Netflix was DVDs. That's what it was.
Oh,
It popped up on my computer and I was like, "What? What? What now?" And I was all excited. And then of course I had to run out and buy my own set because I didn't want to give Netflix back theirs, and that felt like a waste of money. So, yeah.
mm,
But Sherry, that's quite a badge of honor for you to have there, to have actually seen it live when it aired. You are correct, Chantel. You are correct. It
yes.
was completely out of order. In fact, if you look on IMDb, they have at the top of the screen for Firefly, they have a rank order of the scores out of 10 for the episodes. And I was clicking on them, going like, "Wait, what? This episode did get?" I was like, "Oh, that's not the right episode." That's not episode 3. They have it in the weird air order rather
Hmm.
than what the way it actually was meant to be on the discs. So
Well,
be
yeah,
forewarned.
yes, because the episode we're talking about tonight, Serenity Part One,
Mm-hmm.
um, the original, and this was meant to be
Yes.
the pilot episode to establish
Written,
everything.
directed, acted, filmed,
Mhm.
the whole
But
thing, ready to go.
it actually didn't air until December 20th of 2002. It was
Yeah.
the last episode that aired on Fox.
After the show had been canceled. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Absolutely bonkers. Absolutely bonkers. I mean, there's not a lot that I feel sorry for Joss Whedon, but this is one of them. He was the original creator, and he had written the pilot, and they'd filmed it and edited it, and the network saw it, and they were like, "Well, we don't want to cancel the show, but we don't like the pilot. Can you give us something else?" And they gave show notes on what they wanted. They
More
wanted more
action.
action, and they wanted to like the captain better.
Hmm.
Apparently, he wasn't very likable. And so they
Well,
wanted him to rewrite that. And they spent a weekend locked in a hotel room, Joss Whedon and the brains of the heart behind Firefly, Tim Minear, and they came out with the train job.
the
And
train.
that was when the Fox network was like, okay, well, you could go ahead and okay, yeah, we'll run the show, we'll greenlight it based on that,
Hmm.
go film that. But they already had promos cut from this pilot from Serenity. So they were showing clips and scenes and advertising the show. And I can remember talking to people in the forum being like, we kept seeing these scenes and we were like, wait, where's the girl in the box? What the heck?
Uh
Like
huh.
none of what they
Well,
saw was what was
and in
advertised.
fact, the part where Kaylee gets shot, that whole scene and everything, that's what they showed at Comic Con
No
before it
way.
aired.
No way.
I
I
just
did not
found
know that.
that out. Find that out today. I watched the episode with the commentary by Joss and Nathan,
Okay.
and that was
Okay.
one of the things that he brought out.
Wow. I didn't know that. Fantastic. Oh, poor
So
Spencer. Poor Spencer.
what Spencer is referring to, if you don't know, is that when the VCN did a watch along of the movie Serenity, and Spencer pulled up this episode of the TV
Yes.
show instead of the movie.
Instead
And
of
so
the
he's
movie.
making these comments,
Uh-huh.
but part of it seemed
Mm-hmm.
to be matching what was happening all along. And it was about halfway through the movie before we
Before he
realized.
finally realized he was watching the wrong thing. Ah, yes. Yes, so everybody please make sure you're watching the TV show Serenity, not the movie Serenity. You will be very
Hmm.
confused and
Hmm.
definitely talk about uh, uh, spoilers if you
Uh-huh.
jump to the movie and miss the 15 episodes.
And if
Yes,
you're
yes.
looking for a place to watch it, it is on Hulu,
Mm-hmm.
which is if you don't have the box set, or I think it's also, but you have to do Disney Plus with Hulu,
Yeah, I think it's the
but
package between
the
the two of them.
package thing.
Yeah.
But if you go to just plain Hulu, you can get it too.
Yes, that's correct, Mark. We don't, Aaron, that is, yeah, we do not talk about the movie. We don't talk about the movie here. Someone may change my mind before the end of the year. We'll see. But as Sherry said, the whole reason for this show is because of the announcement at AwesomeCon by 7 of the cast members about wanting to bring about into existence and support of an animated series. Sorry for the blurriness. These are a couple of pictures that I took sitting in the audience. It was a totally awesome, fun announcement. Nathan Fillion ran around and gave every single cast member a index card and the microphone, and then they had to stand up and read it. And everyone, some of them started with, "Hi, I'm Nathan Fillion." So it was really super fun, and then it gets all the way to the end, and Alan Tudyk announces the only way we're going to be able to do this is through an animated series. And it was really super fun and exciting. And we'd been standing outside, freezing our tukuses off since about 6:30 that morning, and we'd been talking with everybody and the people we were sitting next to and all that kind of stuff. And I kept saying, "It's got to be animated. It's got to be animated. It's got to be animated." And when they announced that, I got super excited. And Jay and I were in the front row, except for the special seating in front of us, and I leaped up in the air and I waved my arms around like crazy, and I turned around to see all the other people who were super excited, and there were like 3 other people standing in the entire auditorium, and I was like, "Oh my god!"
If
I like
I'd be there,
sangria.
I would have been standing with you.
Okay. Thank you, Sherry. I'm so glad. Yeah, it was a lot of fun, Troy. It really was. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I was so excited to be there. And that's kind of when the idea for this show was born. I came home a couple days later and I messaged Sherry. Hey, Sherry, what do you think?
Because she knew that we had been mentioning it multiple times. Uh,
Thank you, Spencer.
we
I try.
need to eventually do a show about Firefly.
Yeah. Well, there is, I mean, in all fairness, yes, this is the VCN and it is definitely a Star Wars oriented Star Wars celebration group, but there are a lot of similarities, not only the space slash Western
Hmm.
themes, but also found family, the little guy against the evil empire, you know?
Yes.
Yeah, which we
Yeah.
will absolutely thoroughly enjoy
Oh,
um,
yeah.
digging into as we go along, as we go
Hmm.
along.
Yeah.
Join for the movie.
I have a whole thing that we'll talk about in a later episode about how um,
Yeah.
westerns, the Wild Bunch and Stagecoach influenced what Josh was doing with Firefly. But we'll talk about
Yes,
that later.
you guys, we have so much information. I have now got just like piles of stuff that if we tried to do it all now, we'd be here for 2 days. So we're trying to break it off into pieces. So if there's anything that you guys would like to see or things that you want to talk about, or if you would like to be a guest host, please contact us. Send us some DMs, send us an email to the virtual cantina. Let us know. Reach out,
Yes.
message us privately.
Hmm.
Yes, Dave, for the intents and purposes that Nathan Fillion was talking about, it's going to pick up where Objects in Space leaves off, which is the last episode of the live action. He said there was a lot of back and forth, a lot of people talking about where should it be in the timeline, and he's like, I don't want to do After Serenity. He's like, I want to sit here and do a show with my friends and all the people that I
Hmm.
know. that's where that's where it is. That's where we're interested. So I really kind of got a vibe. It's sort of like Rebels, right? Where it just kind
Uh-huh.
of slots into content that's already there and it's
Yeah.
animated and it has references and it makes connections to the larger verse as a whole. And like, I'm so pumped and excited about this
Hmm.
idea. And I'm so thrilled that you wanted to come on online and talk with me about it because I could talk about this for days at a time. You're going to have to tell me to shut up at some point because I
Uh-huh.
just am so excited. I can't quit talking about it.
And I
So,
like with this animated version, you don't have to worry about de-aging anybody. Um, we don't have to deal with the bad thing that happens in the movie.
The
And it
multiple bad
also,
things.
the,
Yeah.
well, I'm thinking of the most
Yeah.
devastating one. Um,
I mean, the one that gets you right here. Yeah,
uh-huh.
that one.
And also, it's going to, they said that Shepherd Book will be included.
Yeah,
Um,
John, that's the big question. Yeah.
but, it's going to have to be a voice recast. And
hmm
I mean, I haven't been thinking about who could do it yet, but oh wow, the Ron
I,
Glassy will be a hard one to
it really is. He was such an icon
replace.
and such a pillar and had such an incredible career
Hmm.
long before Firefly ever happened.
Uh-huh.
But I
Well,
have full confidence that there is an incredible black actor who would be honored to take his place and bring new
hmm.
life and new stories to Shepherd Book. I have
Uh-huh.
no doubt about that whatsoever. So
Yeah. I remember watching him on Barney Miller. That's showing my age there. Um,
Sherry, it's right here. It's right here in my notes. It's right here in my notes as we're going through and talking about the characters. There was something about Shepherd Book that I just immediately trusted. Like I was ready, right? Like I just was like, oh, this is just the greatest guy. And I thought it was because he was in literally like every popular show from the 70s, 80s.
mhm,
And then I realized it was Barney Miller. My dad loved that show. We watched it on syndication and reruns all the time when I was really, 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 really little. And it was just like imprinted on my brain about what a cool
mhm.
guy this was. And so I
Well, and
gravitated right towards him.
he was like the calm, cool, collected guy in the middle of the chaos that was
hmm
the Barney Miller show.
Exactly. Like you would just go anywhere with this guy. You would just trust him, right? Like I was like, okay, cool. I'm with him. I'm good. Yes, absolutely, absolutely.
Oh, Troy has an interesting
Dennis Haysbert.
Haysbert. Oh,
Ooh.
and well, after doing the voiceover work for Mall series,
Mm-hmm.
that's a
Mm-hmm.
possibility.
That is. I wonder, I'd love to go back and look at it on the IMDb, compare their ages, where
Hmm.
Ron was at the time and where he is now, and see, because you need someone, you can't have a really super young actor, I don't feel. I mean, I'm honestly, guys, there's very little that they're going to be able to do to make me not love this series. But I would be a little disappointed if you have a 25-year-old when clearly Book is older. He's in his second phase of life, at least
Hmm.
at this point, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And even though, well, I'm looking for them to expand upon watching the series, we don't get Book's whole backstory.
Mm-hmm.
He's a very mysterious character. He says
Mm-hmm.
he comes from Downton Abbey. No, yeah,
Southdown Abbey.
Southtown Abbey.
Yeah,
The
close, almost there.
yeah, the Abbey. But
Yeah.
he gets this amazing clearance,
Hmm.
security
Have you ever
clearance, and
read the comic
everything.
book?
Well, and that's what I know that they explored things further in the comic book. There's also a couple of novels.
Hmm.
And in my handy dandy Firefly encyclopedia,
Encyclopedia. Uh-huh.
it does talk a lot about his backstory. So there
I
is a
really, yeah.
backstory. So I'm hoping they bring that because not everybody
Yeah.
follows the comics and the books.
No, no, I,
So,
I just bought a couple of them, and what I really liked about the comic book was that it worked um, backwards in time.
mhm,
And it was very well done. It was beautifully illustrated. It was very well done. But I'm almost kind of seeing like a Filoniverse kind of thing where they pull in stuff that's legends and
mhm,
stick to the heart of it, but maybe tweak it or adjust it a little bit or expand it or make it more interesting. I think that's probably going to be one of my favorite segments of our show as we're going through it, is being able to say, what would we like to see from this episode in the animated series? Where could they go with this? And getting some
mhm.
invitations and some comments and some feedback from other fans. Yeah. Hmm.
Yeah, and I tell you, I can't keep up with the comments. It's you
I
guys
know.
are
I'm so
very
sorry. We're
active
trying.
tonight. I'm
There's a lot of chitter
sorry.
chatter going on here. Y'all are talking about spoilers. You're giving quotes and stuff. Uh-huh. We
The
don't know,
animated
Skip.
because they haven't sold it yet. And
Hmm.
that's why, we really encourage if you want to watch it on Hulu so
Streaming.
that streaming so that they see that there is an interest in it and somebody will pick it up.
Hmm.
Um,
Yep, we've got hashtags all over our adverts for this podcast, for this VCN show. So if you are on Facebook or Instagram or Twitter or Twitch, if you want to share it and use those hashtags, the more noise we generate, the more fandom, interest, and excitement that we generate. That Nathan literally said, "This is what I need to take it to someone and say, hey, look, the people are engaged. This is what they want. That's how they're going to get the show sold. They literally have
mhm.
everything else. They just need a home." So that's what we're super excited for, Dave, unless you want to pay for it, bro. It's not gonna happen, man. However, David Joseph Wesley did say that he would be delighted to make some of the music and work on the animated
Oh,
series.
that would
He's
be
based out of
awesome.
LA, so I mean, right? Exactly, Troy. Yeah, this group could really help boost the signal. So if you're a fan, if you know fans, if you're becoming a fan, that's what we're here for, is to share the shiny, increase the
Yes.
excitement. All right.
All
Gosh,
right.
should we get into it?
I
What do you
guess
think, girl?
so.
Are we ready?
I think so.
Okay,
Um,
so obviously, um, Firefly was not made for kids. There may be some debates on whether or not Star Wars is, but Firefly definitely was not.
no.
Uh, so we want to make sure that everybody who has watched the show, who wants to watch the show, who wants to discuss it with us, is fully prepared and fully aware. Um, the verse is very open. It is very adult. It is very accepting of a lot of things, including sexual situations and violent situations. So we want to make sure that you are in a good headspace to be able to listen to or talk about or discuss those things. Um, we don't have a problem with it, but we don't want to take anybody by surprise. So
Hmm.
we're going to be flashing those little warnings up there to make sure that you're in the right place. And if you're not, please pause,
Hmm.
come back, and chat with us another time.
Oh, and also spoiler alert, we're going to talk about the show.
Yes, yes. We're going to try not to advertise too much too far ahead because, as Chantel said, there are some people that are watching it through the first time or maybe haven't seen it in a long time. So, yeah, we definitely want to make sure that we are sticking as close as we can to the topic of the night so that it can surprise and delight people moving forward in the future. So, the pilot that never was, right?
Yes.
Are we
Serenity
ready?
Part 1. And it
Hmm.
opens with a battle scene.
I gotta tell you, I think this is probably one of the most amazing, intense ways to introduce like two of your main characters, right? I mean, like
Yes.
we had the huge Death Star thing in Star Wars, right? I mean, this is shot live in the San Fernando Valley near Lake Los Angeles at night. Explosions, bombs, fireballs going off, people shooting things
Oh,
everywhere,
yeah.
coming
Josh
running.
said one of his eyebrows got singed during the filming of this, and also the one part where you see Nathan running across the rocks.
Mm-hmm.
He said twice filming that scene he ripped his pants and had to go get.
Cap
He
tight
says
pants.
this is where they called me Captain Tight Pants.
Oh my God, that's awesome. I love that. That's the best. Yeah. No. So yeah, come flying right at the screen. A bit ragged, a bit dirty, definitely gaunt and bruised and battered coming at you. Malcolm Reynolds, played by the one, the only Nathan Fillion, the man himself. So this is one of my favorite things we got to talk about in the show. There it is. Yes, we have the character. I love it. Yes, this is, as Dave said, this is pre CGI, folks. This is 2001, 2000 that it was filmed. Also, this show is very much not made for second screening. It's very subtle. It's a lot of nonverbal. If you've got it up on the TV and you're looking at your phone, you're missing half of what's going on.
Hmm.
So,
I
fair
was
warning.
I was
Yes,
very happy to be watching it with the subtitles on
yeah,
to
yeah.
pick
It's
up
very
some of the
helpful.
things.
Yes, yeah, it's
Um,
a lot, especially when they're speaking Mandarin. Yeah,
mhm. Well,
So
and
one of the
when
favorite
they're
things,
speaking Mandarin, it just says speaking Chinese. Ah,
they don't actually list it.
they
Oh,
don't actually list it, but
rude. Well, we've got it in our
we,
books, so
yes,
we will not
Sarah and
only
I
be
both have.
happy to
Now, it's
translate,
not
we'll even.
everything that's translated. I noticed that today that they didn't include everything, but some of the
Really?
more
Okay.
um, some
Awesome.
of the more funny ones and things that I picked up along the way. Like I even remember without before doing this about Mei, which is like dear
Mhm.
sister,
Little
and
sister.
I
Mhm.
little sister, dear sister. So
Yep.
that was one that I remembered
Yeah,
quite
yeah.
clearly.
That was a lot of fun. I studied Chinese for a few months while Jason was at War College.
Hmm.
You as a spouse could take languages for free, so I studied that for a few months. I
That's
don't remember
cool.
hardly anything other than basic like pronunciation rules, sort of. But yeah, so it ought to be fun. It ought to be a good time. One of my favorite
Hmm.
things I'd love to do is every time we introduce a new character, to talk about and also share in your comments. Um, where did you first encounter the actor? So Nathan Fillion, Sherry, what was your first experience with him? Do you remember?
One Life to Live, Joey Buchanan.
Shut up! Nobody ever says that. He was. I love it. I love it. Yes, me too.
I,
Me too. Me too.
I was the ABC soaps, and it was like
Me
Joey
too.
Buchanan, and I thought he's so cute. And
Well, see,
my
and I used
first
to watch it.
crush,
Oh, oh. That's so, I
well,
used
not
to
my
watch it with
first
my
crush.
mom when he was little. It was John Paul Learn. He was really
Hmm.
cute. He had the little freckles and the big brown eyes, and so that was he was from 83 to 90. So that was the Joey I kind of grew up with. And I remember I was in middle school, late middle school, and I hadn't seen it in forever. And I was home for some reason, and my mom was watching it because we were the ABC soaps too. And it was
Hmm.
a different Joey. And I was like, who the hell's that? She's like, that's Joey. And I'm like, no, it's not. I'm like, Ma. And so we had this huge argument. She kept trying to tell me that it was not a different actor. I'm like, Mom, he's blonde. Like Joey always had brown hair. Where the heck? That's right. And so I stopped watching the show forever. Absolutely forever. We had to do a huge fight. I stopped watching the show. I was so mad. And then my junior year in high school, I was homesick. And it was the year that Nathan Fillion started. And I was like, I was like sitting up on the couch going, who is that? And oh yeah, yeah,
Hmm.
yeah, 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 yeah. That brought it back nice
Uh,
and
and
strong
I
for me.
remember after he left the show, they did for something for Asa Buchanan. I think I don't know. Maybe the actor who played Asa had passed away,
It was the
and
ten
so
thousandth episode. It was the ten
uh-huh.
thousandth episode. He came
And
back and did a
Nathan
big
came
arc.
back. Nathan came back to do those episodes
I remember.
on
Oh,
One Life
Shay,
to
this is
Live.
so fun. Nobody ever says that. Nobody ever says that. Definitely. Oh, that's good. Yeah, he was in Saving Private Ryan for a little tiny bit, but the other big place that JB and I know him from is a little TV show that, again, nobody's ever heard of. Two guys, a girl, and a pizza place.
Why do you think I watched the show? Because he was in it.
See, y'all, this is kismet. It was meant to be. It was Nathan Fillion and Ryan Reynolds, and so now everybody knows.
And I can't
Apparently,
remember the girl's name.
I don't remember either one of the girls. I remember those two. That's all I remember. I sort of remember their faces, but yeah. Now, so now y'all know where my obsession started. Right there, the two of them. Yeah, he was in several episodes of 5 episodes of Buffy. Yep,
Buffy,
yep, all
well,
that good stuff.
Buffy or Angel? I think
It
it
was
was
Buffy.
Buffy. It was
Yeah, it was
Buffy.
Buffy. He never did Angel. Lots of actors did both, but he
Summer
did not.
Glau
It
was
was
on
just.
Angel.
A lot of
Yeah,
them were. Yep.
yeah.
A lot of people made pop-ups. So anyway, that's another thing we're going to be doing at some point is like the deep dive into the IMD database because it is super fun to look at where we've all seen these people from. But the other important character that we introduced to in the Battle of Serenity Valley is, of course, Zoe.
Zoe.
Zoe, there we are. That's right. The right-hand woman, the first officer, the always, always, always backup person for Malcolm Reynolds was Zoe.
She was one tough cookie.
And this scene has one of my favorite Zoe quotes in it. It's just, there's all this chaos and they're running around and he's barking orders and somebody's shot and somebody's dead and he's like, I need air support. And they're like, I can't do that without an officer. And he runs over and rips the patch off the lieutenant.
Hmm.
He's like, you've been promoted. Now get me my air support. And then he just turns real calm, real quiet, just looks at Zoe and says, you ready? She just deadpans, just not even tired, just is like, always. And
Hmm.
off they go up the hill. And I swooned. I think that is one of
Hmm.
my favorite, because that's just what she's just sitting there with a journalist rifle and she's like, yep, here we go. Let's do it.
Uh-huh.
I almost had her sign my poster with that. I almost had her say that, but it was just
Mm.
the way she says it, calm, cool, collected, not tired, not panicked, not frustrated. Just she's like, oh yeah, always. I will be here for you 100%. Um, of course,
What I like, um, go on, were you?
no, go ahead, go ahead.
Uh, what I like about this sequence was that it showed the Mal that was,
Mm-hmm.
because he was a man of faith. He was, I don't know if I would say optimistic, but he was
Yeah.
confident. He was
Mm-hmm.
inspiring his troops.
Mm-hmm.
One of my favorite lines from the show is when he's, trying to inspire everybody that they can do this, they
Yeah.
can win this battle. Is we've done the impossible, and that makes us mighty.
It's mighty. Yeah.
He is sure
Oh.
if they hold the line, the air cover will save them.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just he's just such a completely different Mal.
Yeah.
And after he mans that big gun and he shoots down that thing and that
Yeah.
ship,
The
and it comes
skiff. Yeah.
crashing toward him, and him and Zoe crash to the ground, and he just starts
He's laughing.
laughing,
Yeah.
laughing.
Mm-hmm.
And then they get back over to where their bunker was, and it's like everybody's dead except for one guy, Bendis.
Who was too Bendis? He was too terrified to move. He
Too
froze. He
terrified
completely
to move.
panicked.
And he
Yeah.
was just like convinced we're going to die. This is the
Mm-hmm.
end. We're not going to make it. And again, Mal shows up and he says, we can't die, Bendis. And do you know why? Because we are so very pretty and
Mm-hmm.
we are just too pretty for God to let us die. So he
Yep.
had faith then.
Oh yeah, and when he picked up the cross and he kissed
Hmm.
it, oh yeah, like that was a very intense, yeah, super,
Uh
super,
huh.
super powerful momentum for it. Yes, yes, it does. Yes, it does.
Yeah.
Several episodes. You are
Yeah.
quite
And
right, Chantel. And there is a quote coming up in one of my favorite episodes later that I will be sure to reference for you later. I
mhm.
don't want to spoil it, but yeah.
And
Yep.
then we get around and then you see the he tells Zoe, find out when our air support's coming,
Yeah.
and you hear the ships coming over, like, and he's telling Bendis, "There's our support. There's our
Those
angels."
are
He calls the
angels.
angels
Yep.
coming to save us, and Zoe just is
Says
like,
they're not
"They're
coming.
not coming."
And he's
Says,
like, well, then what's that? What was that?
"We're the-" And then
Oh,
just the shot of him looking at the ships flying off in the distance, and you can just see it drain from him.
the
That's
bombs raining down, and the
uh-huh,
and that guitar in the background, just
uh-huh.
that real high pitched, or maybe a violin. I'm not sure what solo piece that is. And
And
all the sound disappears, right?
uh-huh.
It's just
Yeah.
that strain of music. Yeah, yeah. God, the
And
cinematography in this show is just incredible. I'm going to say it a dozen times every episode, so I hope you all can handle it.
mhm,
Yeah, it is just, it's beautiful, and it pulls back, and you can literally see in his face, this is not just the destruction of the brown coat army. Yes, in the valley, it is, he loses everything in that moment.
that
He
uh-huh.
loses his faith, he loses his kindness, he loses his humanity, he loses his belief in anything, right? Like it's just
Hmm.
everything's shattered. Um,
He felt betrayed
yeah,
by everything, by God,
yeah.
by
By the
the
Alliance,
independents,
yeah. Mm-hmm.
not the alliance. The
Yep.
alliance were the bad guys.
Well, they were gonna do it anyway. Yeah, but I mean, they were gonna do it anyway. But yeah, yeah, definitely by the
Hmm.
independents. Um,
Uh,
See, oh, bull crap. It wasn't even a couple
uh-huh.
years later where they were like, oh, we want all the dark, edgy crap. And I was like, Firefly was just ahead of its time. Firefly was ahead of its time, man. It was so powerful and so well done. And it was such an incredible transition from that to the very next scene, which is the deep dark of space,
Six
right?
years later.
Yeah. And then it flashes up there and you can see, we see Mal and we see Zoe, and their faces are clearly different. They're
Uh-huh.
healthier. They don't look as gaunt or as dirty or as beaten up, but they're harder somehow.
Yes.
There's none of that life in them. And it's just the breathing in the spacesuits. They're just floating out in space.
Hmm.
And there's just some, and at first I thought they were like crew repairmen or something, right? Like we're floating around in space, we're completely covered in salvage, and there's all this insanity going on. There's some other strange dude there. We don't even know who this person is. And they're talking back and forth, and they're like, "Give me the gun and give me the sticky and all the kind of stuff."
The heat gun glue.
Yeah,
That's what it
I
looks
loved
like.
that. I
It
was
looks
like,
like
I
they just
want that.
used a
It looks
glue
like a
gun.
glue gun with an explosive wire in the middle of it, right? Like I love that. And the door blows open, and they're like, the goods are intact, and I was like, holy crap, they're thieves! I was like, oh my god, they're fucking stealing it, really? And so the third person is, of course, there's always that one in every crew, right? Some of them are fun and some of them are good people, but there's always the one, right? There's always the loudmouth. There's always the muscle, right? There's always the
Hmm.
overtop, the Mr. Sarcastic, the mercenary for hire, the trigger happy loose cannon. Priorities are making a quick buck and bedding the ladies.
With a
It turns
name
out
like Jane.
Jane Cobb. That's Jayne, played by Adam Baldwin. That is our introduction to him. Is he's running and helping out in the crew with the two people who managed to survive Serenity Valley. So that definitely gives us some insight into his character, which gets exposed and developed a little bit later on in this episode. But of
Hmm.
course, the most fun part is that through their helmets, the people floating out in space are talking back to the ship.
Ah,
And who do we get to meet on the ship?
Hoban Wash.
Yes, Tobin Washburn. There we go. Mr. Goofy, Hawaiian shirt wearing pilot himself. And of course, when we meet him for the first time,
Oh, you've got the.
he's playing with dinosaurs on the panel
Oh, I
of the
didn't
ship.
know that there was an inevitable betrayal playset.
Yep, yep, yep. So there's going to be all kinds of little delightful surprises like this coming from me during the course of the show, because I invested in the Firefly cargo crate
Oh, cool.
from Loot Crate back in the day. And
Hmm.
as you can see, it was a very specially designed box. They all came with stickers, and then on the
Oh.
inside there was all kinds of goodies. And as you can see, there of course have to be cows in the cargo bay, which those of you who've seen the show will get the joke, and those of you who have not yet seen that episode will get it later.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, this went on for a long time, and every box was dedicated to a character. And I have tons of stuff all over my house. It's finally
Oh, that's
out.
wonderful.
But that was from the Wash set, and I believe there's actually an unboxing video somewhere if you want to go digging for it online of Wash opening up the dinosaurs and playing with them. And so he's entertaining himself because the ship is parked against the hull of the blasted ship and he's bored. And so he's over here entertaining himself. And of course, this is the scene in which also creates one of everybody's favorite lines from Firefly.
Curse your sudden but inevitable betrayal.
Yes. Yes. Because
Or
the mean dinosaur turns around and is going to eat the herbivore. Ah! Curse your sudden but inevitable betrayal. Yes, exactly. Mm-hmm. Yep. Always one of the best. But
yes,
naturally,
it
that
wasn't.
doesn't go well. That doesn't go well because in the middle of it, then an alarm goes off. Right as they
Yes,
start pulling the cargo out of the derelict ship, an alarm goes off. And of course, that means the Alliance.
yes,
The Alliance is here.
and it's you see this giant ship. It looks
It's
like
so
these
ridiculous.
triangles on a disc,
Mm-hmm.
and wow, it was just wild the way that this was.
It was
It was
this isn't even a good picture of it because it kind of is zoomed in, but it shows you the difference
uh-huh,
between Serenity and the Dortmunder. Um,
hmm
and I
but
have a
it all
Dortmunder
looks
shirt. I'm gonna have to wear it someday.
uh-huh.
One of
It's
one
all
of these days.
shiny and new. And Josh said that, all of the Alliance ships were vertical because
Mm,
he wanted them to look like a city, a modern city.
yeah.
And I just thought it looked ridiculous. But
It's a completely useless thing in space, right? It's just
uh-huh.
this big
I
floating
don't,
chunk of nonsense.
how
Because
does
why
it
would you
move?
need? I don't know. It made no sense.
At
It was
least the
ridiculous.
Star Wars ships are semi aeronaut. You know what I mean?
Or
Aerodynamically.
there we go. That was the word. That was the word.
I
I mean,
kept
it does
waiting
have some height
for
at one point, but
JB to give me the right word.
at least I mean, they were sort of, aerodynamic with the pointy bit. It did kind of go with it. But yeah, this was a ridiculous ship. And Andy Umberger was the captain of the Dortmunder.
hmm
And he, along with one other actor in this show, had previous credits on both Buffy and Angel. So,
Uh-huh. Yeah, that was one thing Joss loved to reuse. He had
mm-hmm,
certain actors that he loved to
mm-hmm,
reuse in all of his shows.
exactly. It looks like a firefly. Firefly class. Yep. So anyway, then the crew has to double time it back to the ship, quickly fast.
hmm
Everybody decides to try to go dark, which we also used to see in Rebels, right? There was that
hmm
one where they have to try to go dark, and so Wash shouts into the ship comm system, "Kaylee, we're going dark. You got to go turn everything off." And zoom, here we go. Here comes the perky, happy little girl with the bouncy hair in the mechanic's suit, hopping around in the engine room, shutting everything off. And she's like, "Okay, we're good. We're doing everything's off." And all the lights off. She goes, "Now I can't get down." And that is how we meet Kaylee
Hey,
Fry.
who is the ship's mechanic?
Mhm. I don't know
So,
if it's actually her name. I'm going to have to look it up, but her official full name, as is announced in a later episode, is Kay Winnett Lee Fry.
yes.
So I don't know if she just made that up to sound fancy or if that's actually her full name, but she goes by Kaylee. So
hmm
played by the fabulous Jewel State.
Who is wonderful in person. I have seen her twice. Yes.
Yay! Yes, yes, she is so fun.
In
I
fact,
follow
the
her on
second,
Instagram.
I do too.
I highly
Um,
recommend it. Yeah.
mhm. I haven't. She does. I don't know if she still does. She used to have a tea company. Um, I
Yeah, I
don't
don't
know
know
if
if she
she
does
still
either. I
does.
haven't seen that in a while. Yeah, I haven't seen it in a
hmm
while. I hope so, because that's really cool.
Yeah. Um, what was it? Oh, yeah. The second time I saw her, it was with quite a few members of the cast
Okay.
because Morena and Sean were both
Mhm.
there,
Mhm.
and Alan and no, I was going to say Adam was at a different time. So there was four of them at the time. But
Okay.
I just remember it was like the month after Celebration Chicago.
Oh, really? Oh,
Uh-huh.
bummer.
And they do the Q&As, and Alan had what he called his bag of crap,
Really?
and anybody that asked a question, he would pull things out of his bag of crap.
No
And I am
way.
so mad. One of the things that he pulled out was his um, pass from Chicago Celebration.
No kidding. We
And I
met
was
him
just
there.
like, I'm so jealous that I did not get that.
I bet. Oh, I would be too. Oh, yeah, that was where I actually tried to get my family to meet Alan. We were all standing in a line, and I went to step forward with everybody, and they all took a step back, and I was like, "Okay, I guess I'm going forward by myself. Hi, Alan. How are you? Nice to see you again." Poor kids. Poor kids.
But where were we? We're talking about Kaylee, and
Yep. So they try to go
oh,
dark. They
try
try
to
to go
go
dark to
dark,
avoid. Yep. And it didn't
but
work. They pick
the
up on a
ship
residual heat.
decides, they're going. And one thing that else that Joss noted about the crew is
Hmm.
if you notice they all wear hats or caps, and
Yes.
Josh says bad guys always wear hats. So we have to follow through because Badger has a hat and
Hmm.
Patience has a hat, but
That's a
we'll
good
see.
point. I had not thought of that. So now we got to
We're gonna have
we
to
got to keep a
we gotta
tally. We got to keep a
watch
running
and keep
tally. Uh-huh.
watch.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
So
Okay. Well, it's true in the Empire too. They've almost always got their caps on or
mhm,
a hood or a
uh-huh.
helmet or whatever. Yeah. Okay. Bad guys always
Now
wear
the
hats.
one exception I know in this episode is, which we'll get to in a few minutes, is the mole.
Mm-hmm. 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 Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah. I don't
anyway,
think we actually get to that one until part two. We don't actually
mm,
get the identity of that one until part two.
oh
Yep.
yeah, we do.
Yep. Depending on where we cut it off, I guess.
Okay. Uh, I've lost completely where we're at.
So there,
Oh,
yeah. So right, right.
they decide to they send out a crybaby.
I loved this. It was so funny. My husband had no idea that was reference to a Beatles song. And I was like, "Babe, what house did you grow up in?" I'm like, "Cry, baby, cry, make your mother sigh." That is like right out of the Beatles song. So yeah,
Yeah, a
yep, they pulled a
crybaby that
classic.
made it seem like there was an Alliance ship in distress
Yep,
in the other direction.
yep,
And so, just as they were getting ready to send somebody out to investigate,
mhm,
they decide, well, no, maybe we better go rescue this ship. And
yep, yep,
Mal and Zoe and Jane get back to the ship and says, "We're here, let's go." And fired up, and you see that Firefly ship just
yeah. Take
take
off.
off.
Let's moon them, as Jay likes to say.
Yes.
Yep, yep. And unfortunately, it is very like the Millennium Falcon in Star Wars, where they do get an identity on the ship. They make a reference. It looks just like the ship that blasted out of Mos Eisley. So they get a
Mhm.
description on it,
Yeah, they
which
just
becomes
said
important
the
later.
Firefly class,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Firefly class transport pulling cargo off of a derelict ship. So yeah, 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 yeah. All
which
right.
is
So then they beat feet for Persephone, which is definitely a location that we will be back visiting for a while. It is kind of a mid-rim level city. It's not a central planet, but it's not a complete, outer rim backburst planet either. So it's a good sized population, but it's safe enough that Firefly ships can sneak in and out without getting noticed. And before we get any further, they definitely pick up their other current missing crew member who is off taking care of business of her own.
ah
We get the lovely Inara Sarah. Introduction to a whole nother concept in the verse. Whole nother concept
okay.
in the verse.
You're a little ahead of me here, so all
Uh oh.
right, that's okay. Because then Anara comes in. Oh, well, I'm lost in my notes too.
Oh no, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Yeah.
Oh, they they land at Persephone. We know that Mal told Wash to contact Anara.
Yeah.
He
Mhm.
calls her the ambassador, though,
Does. Yes.
and
Yes.
to tell her that they're going to be in
Oh,
Persephone. They're headed
yep.
towards Persephone,
Mhm.
and so when they get there and they've got the goods that
Yep.
turns out that was commissioned for them to get by a man of business, a
Fella
businessman,
called Badger. Yep.
Badger,
Yep.
played by the lovely Mark Shepard.
Yeah. But
Um,
actually, yeah, I mean, it's okay, but yeah, I mean, but before we get to Badger, we do Inara's quick scene first, where we learn all about companions. We get to the shuttle first, and then we get the whole scene with Badger. But yeah.
all right.
But either
I
way,
have
yeah, we
been.
get two new fascinating characters. One is
Yes.
one who is already attached to the crew, and the other is one who is, yeah, one of the
Okay.
greatest side characters in the series. Gets to come
Hmm.
back for one more episode, and this is definitely somebody that I would love to see turn up in the animated series again. I
Yes.
want all the episodes with Badger. Yes, please.
Oh, yes. Definitely need Badger. But to go back, we do cut to Anara.
Mm-hmm.
We cut to a woman and a man in a compromising position, shall
In
I say?
flagrante delicto, as they like to say. Mm-hmm.
And it's one thing is that it's the camera pans over to what we see is an hourglass with the
Mm-hmm.
sand
Yeah, like a
running
big,
down
yeah.
it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And if you look real close at the bottom of the hourglass, there is a Chinese symbol, and
Mm.
that symbol stands for short interval. One of those little
Oh,
hidden Easter eggs in the
I did not know that. Oh, I love it. Okay, then. Yeah. Yeah,
but we
time
see
goes too quickly.
hmm but then we realize this is not a we realize that this is a paid
It's a
companionship.
business transaction. Yes, this
Yes,
is not a
business
romantic
transaction.
relationship. I love that scene where they're sitting on the couch together and they're having their tea and they're kind of, in robes and just, relaxing and chill and,
Hmm.
little post afterglow talk going on. Absolutely love it. It was a very interesting thing to experience, someone just being so
Hmm.
casual and easygoing about
Uh-huh.
sexual relations, and it's not being weird or gross or
Hmm.
misogynistic or anything. She's talking about where she grew up and what it was like and how she wanted to see the galaxy, and that's why she left.
Hmm.
And then of course it ends poorly because the dear
Yes.
sweet youngling tries to convince her to stay, and when she says no, his ego is bruised and
And
says that accuses her of speeding up her clocks to cheat them out of their fun.
yes.
And you're like, oh, okay,
Uh-huh. So he
lovely.
leaves. She gets up and pulls back a curtain, and we realize she's on a shuttle.
She's in a shuttle. Yep. Yep, and that shuttle, then she contacts Wash, and the shuttle's, he's like, we're touching down. Should come right on back. And she's like, let me guess, we're in a hurry. And he's like, well, yeah, probably could be. We're about to go meet with Badger and find out. And honestly, this shuttle and the way that it comes in and it just tucks right into the side of the
Hmm.
ship is one of Jason's favorite parts of the show. It's
Uh-huh.
just a brilliant masterpiece of aerospace design and just conserving space and being just a really really intricate design.
Hmm.
It's fantastic. Yeah.
Hmm. Well, I saw, it seems like the same way the Phantom fits into the Ghost in Rebels.
Yes, yes, yes,
It's just like,
exactly.
when you see them put together, you can't really tell that there is a separate ship there.
And how they dock and how they connect that way with just the little rolling doors, and yeah. So
Mm,
I've always seen a lot of Firefly in Rebels when I see it. Yeah, definitely. So
yeah.
yep. So then we get to one of the best best scenes in the series. So where is this is the first time I ever saw Mark Shepard as an actor. What about you?
Um, Probably yes. Yeah, because I
Hmm.
can't. I know he's been in something. Isn't he in the Supernatural series?
Oh yeah, like 70 episodes. He played Crowley.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but that was later. That was after Firefly. But
Uh-huh.
it's just so funny how many times I've seen him. He did a lot of ones and two episodes, one guest appearances here and there,
Hmm.
and so many shows. The number of times I've been like, "Oh my God, look, it's Badger!" He was in Charmed. I mean, he played a demon in Charmed. I mean, it's all of this. So yeah, he was in
Ooh,
Battlestar Galactica. Yep, a
Battlestar.
lot of.
Oh, now I'm going to have to go find that because I was a big Battlestar fan too. So.
Yeah, check out his IMDb. It's ridiculous the number of shows that he's in. I mean, I didn't even try to write it all down. I figured when we do our deep dive on Badger, we can talk about him. But
Hmm.
yeah, he's got a serious Irish accent. He's pulling it in. He's a man of business. He's got roots in the community. And of course, when our crew walks in, he's busy examining the teeth and the appearance of a group of women
Hmm.
And you're like, "Well, I don't want to know what kind of business that is, but yeah, okay.
And he immediately announces to Mal, "You're late."
Yeah." And Mal's response is, "You're lying." And we're off to the races, folks. Yep.
Hmm. But
Banter back and forth.
it turns out that, well, Badger was a little disappointed. If only Mal had gotten there a little sooner.
You're later than I
He,
would have liked. Yeah.
yeah. And then he holds up this document that reminds me of the newspapers in the Harry Potter series with the moving pictures and everything,
Mhm. 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 Mhm.
where there's a bulletin out about a Firefly class vehicle
Mhm. Mhm. And
stealing.
he's like, "That has nothing to do with us. That wasn't us." And he's like, "That doesn't connect us to you." And he's like, "No, it don't. But maybe Alliance imprint on every molecule of the goods is gonna connect you to me." And that's when Zoe cuts Mel a look and is like, "Really?" Because he was not real happy about the crew cargo when we unloaded it. And that's why. Because if it's
Hmm.
stamped, it's hot
Yep,
goods. It's hot goods. You're not
not
gonna be able
good.
to move it. Yep. But of course, he's like, "You're just, he's like, he refuses. He refuses to pay them anything. And so Mal walks away with cargo and nobody to sell it to.
Yeah, and what I like is the little speech he gives to Mal about, reminding him of his service in the war and everything, and
Mm-hmm.
that
Mm-hmm.
he calls him a man of honor in a den of
Den
thieves.
of Thieves.
And this was Badger's den. So
Yep.
he was the
Yep.
one who ruled the roost
Yep. The
here.
Bowls and Bayonet Brigade. That was always one of my favorite lines. Big sergeant in the war, weren't you? Yeah.
Hmm.
Yep. But
We
yeah,
go back.
so I love Dave's comment here that it was an interesting take that the companion was the respectable one on the crew. And then you
Uh,
see that this person who is literally a criminal underworld thinks that he's respectable and has roots in the community, as opposed to this crew of people that were war heroes, basically, um, because they don't have a planet, they don't have a home, they've just got this ship, they've just got each other. And so it really gives a lot of interesting, as Dave said, takes and perspectives and ideas on what is respectability, what is home, what really matters, and what really is of value to you as an individual, and the perception that other people have of you as well. So
hmm.
I mean, we're just a little bit into the episode and it's already off and running with it.
Hmm.
It's crazy.
Meanwhile,
Hmm.
Kaylee has been charged with finding passengers to make them seem more respectable.
And get him some extra
And
money on the way to Boros. Yep.
yes, and she notices a preacher walking along and how he just keeps
Hmm.
kind of looking around.
Yeah. You're
And
not
she
looking at
tells,
the destinations.
she says, "You're going to fly with us." She says, "You're not looking at the destinations, you're looking at the ships."
Mine's the nicest.
Mine's the nicest. That's
Yep.
true.
Yep. So Mal decides to go back to Patience on Boros. And everybody makes a comment about, didn't she shoot you once? So that's how desperate the poor guy is. He's now having to go back to a woman who actually shot him in the past in order to unload these Alliance goods. And
Hmm.
he's taken on a few passengers to try to give him some cover, try to hide the fact that they've got stolen goods stuffed in the wall
Hmm.
of their ship. Jay always said that Serenity reminded him a lot of the C-130s that he used to fly in the military.
Oh.
Um, because they
Well,
also had lots of little secret cargo hidey holes.
hmm.
And the crews used to bring back lots of goods stuffed in them when they would come back from Japan in order to avoid customs.
I want to go back to when Kaylee was talking to Shepard,
Yeah.
and because she asked him, "You can pay, can you?" And he,
Mm-hmm.
he says, "Well, I have a little bit of money." And then he has this box, and
He's like, and I've also got this.
he opens it up, and she's like, "Oh, Grandpa," and he's like, "I'm not married."
I never married. Not a grandpa. I never married. I could pass. But I like that his attitude is that I could never possibly be a grandpa if I didn't get married.
Hmm.
So that definitely gives you, if the collar didn't give it away, that definitely gives you a very clear
Hmm.
insight into the kind of character slash person this person is.
Hmm.
Yep.
So anyway, they gather everybody up,
Yep. Mal
and
and
they're
Zoe and what? Yeah, Jane comes
uh
stomping
huh.
back, all unhappy, on, and everybody's
All,
loading up. You see all these people dragging boxes and moving things on there. You see the
Mhm.
shepherd coming by, and then you see this really interesting shot of a very nicely dressed young man standing there watching everybody moving things on, and he's got these really weird dark sunglasses on and just makes a
Mhm.
slight little nod and says,
And
Captain.
he's very well dressed, and
Nice
Mal
vest and proper shirt
Mal
and
looks him over and is like not sure what to think of
mm-hmm.
him. And you also have a man named Dobson aboard the boat,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
the
So we've
ship,
got Book
the ship.
and this guy, whoever he is, doesn't have a name yet, and somebody named Dobson. Yep. Now
Hmm.
those sunglasses are important to be mentioned at some later date, probably after we have a little more information. That
Hmm.
is definitely one of the biggest complaints about people who watch Firefly the first time. They don't really understand something about the storyline, and the sunglasses are important. So that's why I had to
Hmm.
point it out. Yep.
Yeah,
So
and
everybody's
if
in, everybody's unpacking, everybody's learning the rules. The
mhm,
captain's giving the shakedown,
she's
trying to make
down,
a cover story.
yeah, it's like, oh, the Alliance says that we have to make a stop along the way at Whitehall to deliver
Mm-hmm.
medical supplies,
Yep.
and they're kind of questioning that, but yeah, that's fine.
Yep.
Um,
Whitefall. Yep.
la la la. Oh,
And then
and
it's about time to start preparing dinner. So we get
mhm.
to the
Well,
scene where we finally get to
bef-
see. Oh, no.
oh,
Am I jumping?
before that, Anara comes down,
Oh, that's
and
right. Well, everybody's in the cargo bay. That's right.
Anara comes down, and Mal says, "Oh, we've got the ambassador here," and introduces her to Book, and
That's right.
she's just like, "Oh, I'm
He's
so
all formal and he's like, "Oh, I've never met a government official before."
from
And
before
yeah.
all that," and Mal just pulls in, "She's a whore," and then Kaylee goes, "The proper term is companion."
Mhm. It makes a difference. It makes a
It does.
difference in this world.
Yes,
Yeah.
it does. And you can tell she just kind of miffed,
Mel
and
laughs. Yeah, he's making a cruel joke at her expense and she handles it nice and smooth.
and just
She's
goes
like
off with Kaylee.
she's like, "I guess I'll go back to my shuttle." And he's like, "Don't you want to meet the other passengers?" And she's like, "Maybe you should be sure they want to meet me first."
Mhm.
And off they go, her and Kaylee.
Mhm.
Yeah. So that was real interesting because it's you kind of have to play with whom exactly was he trying to make the most uncomfortable there with that little interchange.
Mhm.
You know,
It could
you
be.
can tell they've always had digs between Mal and Inara before,
Uh
but
huh.
yeah,
And then we go to where um,
in the
Kaylee is
galley.
in the
Yeah, we finally
galley,
get
and
to see what's
she's
in the
got the
box.
box of a bag and box of vegetables and stuff,
Bringing in all the
and
supplies.
she opens that little box and pulls out one perfect strawberry
Yep.
and takes a bite, and I tell you, the look on her face was pure ecstasy.
It was. She did such a good job with that. Can you imagine how long it's been in space since anybody had eaten any fresh fruits or
Well,
vegetables?
that
He's like,
they made when they were doing the meal, they made a comment about how they were used to the boxed meals and all that and everything. So to
yeah.
have real vegetables, and you can
hmm
see them, there's the big slices of tomato.
The
The little,
tomato, yeah, because Mel had originally said we got protein every color of the rainbow kind of thing, but then there's like an actual huge dinner at the table when all of the guests are there and
hmm
most of the crew is there and they're all excited and they're digging in and they're sharing and the shepherd says, it's the key is the spices.
uh-huh.
He's like you can eat well until doomsday as long as you got
hmm
spices, right?
And then he says, Captain, can I say grace?
Hmm?
And Mal keeps on eating and says, as long as you don't
As long
say
as
it
you
out
don't say it
loud.
out loud. Uh-huh. Which is interesting because, um, that's definitely not the Mal we saw in the first part of the episode, right? Definitely not.
No, no,
Definitely
Mal
some
is
differences going on there.
he's more hardened now, and so they're all around the table and they're talking about the government and how the planets are terraformed and everything. And it
Government gets in the way, gets in a
mhm,
man's way. That's what governments are for.
comes out that Simon is a doctor, and
hmm
Kaylee, she's just fawning all over him. You look so young to be a doctor, and he tells her that she's so young to be a mechanic. And
And Book
then
says it's a rare gift,
mhm,
that machines just talk to her and she just knows how to make them work,
mhm.
you know. And then, of
And
course,
then
because there's one at every table, there's one at every Thanksgiving dinner, there's always somebody that's going to make the crass joke, right?
yeah, and Jane does it.
Mm-hmm.
and everyone looks uncomfortable. And
Kaylee's
Mal just
humiliated. Yep.
mm, and Mal just says, "You're done. Leave the
Yep.
table."
Well, first he says, keep a civil tongue in your mouth. And
Hmm.
Jane says, you don't pay me enough to talk pretty. And then he's like, that's it, out. Get up, leave right now. And
Yeah.
it's one of my favorite lines. One of the guests says, "Oh, well, what do you pay him for?" Mal hesitates for a second, then goes, "Public
Public
relations,"
relations.
and then eats his tomato, shoves his tomato in his mouth. But yeah, definitely, this is a very big, subtle setup about how different things are in this galaxy. Like we're
Hmm.
really starting to learn and understand
Uh-huh.
the difference here.
And up until this point, there had been lots of shots of the
Mhm.
different aspects of the Serenity. And
Oh gosh, yeah.
yeah, and
What a
Josh was
set.
saying that he wanted to make sure that the audience knew what the ship looked like and got a real feel for it. So he included all
Mhm.
these exterior shots, and showing
Yeah.
how it lit up and the spinny
Mhm.
wheel thing on it and the interior with all the different layers.
It was all
And
built, one big continuous set. You could literally, as an actor, walk from the tail engine
yes,
room all the way to the cockpit at the front without having to make a break. They actually
yes,
built the whole thing together, which I
the whole
just
thing.
love. And I feel like that was one of my favorite parts about this was it almost felt like you're watching a small town theater kind of production. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Like it feels very intimate when you're watching it. Yeah, definitely.
Hmm.
So,
So then we switch. We're back into Anara's shuttle,
her shuttle. Yep.
and she's giving a sponge bath. Another very sensual thing, and you hear a knock on her
Mhm.
door, and she says, "Come in."
Mhm.
And in comes Book with
Yep.
a tray of food, and she's
Mhm.
like, "Are you here to lecture me
I love that. And he's
about
like, the wickedness of my ways,
yes
right? Are
the
you here to
wickedness
lecture me?
of
And he's
my
like,
ways?"
I brought
And
dinner, but I mean, if
he
you want
says,
a lecture, I've got a lot.
"Yeah, I can do all kinds of these things." He says,
Mm-hmm.
"But actually, Mal suggested that I bring this to you." He says,
Real, yeah. Yeah.
and I was kind of surprised because, Mal seems to be like somebody who doesn't want anybody around,
Mm-hmm.
but he really shows he seems to really care about his crew.
He's protective. Yeah. Yeah.
Protective. And Anara asked him, "Why are you so fascinated about this?" And
Mm-hmm.
he says, "Because he seems to be so mysterious." And then Book asked her, "What about you?" And I can't remember the exact line, but something about, "Oh, so few men
Because
are."
so few men are. He's something of a mystery because so few men are. And you can tell that she kind of hesitates before she's just like blatantly honest about that, right?
Hmm.
Yeah. So then we've
And
got Mal going up to. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
oh, I want to note that Lorena Bachran was not the original Anara.
No,
They
she was cast
actually,
very late.
yeah, they started out because a lot of scenes had to be reshot
Mm-hmm.
because it was originally Rebecca Gayheart.
Yep.
Um, Most people know. I remember her from being on the TV show Loving. She did some
Mm.
other stuff too, um, and was married to Eric Bain at one
Okay.
time.
Okay. Okay.
But
Yep.
it's just like it just the chemistry wasn't there. It just wasn't working out. And
Interesting. Mm.
and
Yeah, she was a
Morena
relatively
came.
new actress at this point. Yeah, she was
Yeah,
relatively new.
I
She'd
think
had
this
she had only
one of her first
mhm, four
well,
small
her first
roles
big
before
role.
Firefly. Yeah, this was a big one, and she came in after they'd already started shooting, so she was pretty terrified when she
Hmm.
walked up. But she said that everybody was so kind and warm and engaging, and they just folded her right into the family.
Hmm.
No hesitation on their part at all. So yeah.
Yeah, I think she trained at Juilliard.
She did. Yeah, went to a New York school of music and something, and then went on to Juilliard after her dad got transferred to New York. Yep.
Hmm. Yeah,
Can't
that
wait
is
to deep dive.
that is true, David. We don't know a whole lot about them yet. We're getting little bits and pieces,
Yep.
um, but
Yep.
we will come to know them eventually.
Yes. And
Um,
again, more backstories and more ideas. This is absolutely what I would love to see the animated series doing, you know? The flashback show in this series is one of my favorites, and more, yes, please, more of this,
yeah,
definitely, in a continuation, absolutely.
Hmm.
So Mosh and Mal get up on the bridge, and turns out there's somebody who's gone on the Cortex and
Well,
hailed the nearest Alliance cruiser.
before this, the scene of Mal is in his quarters.
I was gonna try to skip over that.
Okay.
You wanna talk? No, it's fine, Sherry. You wanna talk about it? Go
One of
right
the
ahead.
few instances where we see a bathroom situation. Mal has this toilet that slides into
We
the
got a
wall.
refresher. Yep, 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 yep. Right up there with the captain's zipper.
And then Wash comes in and says, "Get up here." And you see
Hmm.
him quickly run up the steps.
Well,
And,
apparently that was one of the most difficult shots to do, of the
oh,
camera being able to pull up the ladder
yeah,
ahead of him, and
he
then
said
yeah, it was this
they created this special rig and
like pulley
everything.
system. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. It was insane. Yeah. But everybody was very into the show and trying to give the best that they could give and put everything into it. Nobody was asking what's in it for me. They were like, how can I help? What more can I do? Yeah.
Hmm.
So Wash tells him, you got to get up here. We have a mole on board because they
Yep.
tried to scramble it, but he has no idea how much got through. He did wash his
Hmm.
hands. Exactly. The nice little sink right on top of the toilet. Good thing. Good
Hmm.
thing. Yep. So Mal's face gets all upset and angry because he thinks he's worked out who it is, right?
Uh-huh. And he rushes to the cargo bay
Yep. And there
where
we find the young man who was asking the doctor who was
the
asking
doctor
questions. And
and
checking in the cargo bay when he's not supposed to be there, checking on this big box of something that he had moved
mystery
on
box.
to the ship. He stood up. Mal punches him right in the face,
Bundy
slugs
punches
him,
him.
lays him out,
And
decks
like
him.
Simon is like, "Are you a lunatic?"
Are you out of your mind? What are you doing? And he's like,
And
just
then
about. Yep.
you see
Yep.
Book come in and he says, "Captain, you got the wrong man." And you can
Mm-hmm.
see his eyes look up and turn around, and there's Dobson with a gun pulled on him.
Yep.
And at this
Dear,
point,
quiet, happy little Dobson. You're right. That did come beforehand. I keep getting those backwards. Yep. You got
mm-hmm,
the wrong man. Yep.
uh-huh.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
And Mal thinks, "Oh no, the gig is up. They
Yep. I
caught
mean,
me.
this is not my best day ever.
They
I
caught
love
us."
that line. And then
And
Dobson says,
doesn't
Simon Tam, you are bound by law to stand down.
to
I
stand
was like,
down.
him. Oh, hey, is there a
And
reward?
Mal just looks so relieved, puts his
It's
hands
not
down,
me.
and says, "Is
It's
there
not
a
me.
reward?"
I love it. He's like, oh, hey, is there a reward? Yep.
So they
Yep.
start kind of arguing back and forth.
Oh, we got this big old standoff. Mel's like, take him, get him the hell off my boat.
Hmm.
Simon's like, nah, Dobson's like, get everybody. The Shepherd is
Dobson's
like,
being real twitchy and everything,
real
and they're
twitchy.
arguing
Shepherd is
back
like,
and
we are on
forth.
the verge of true stupidity here. Like, can we please just stop? Like, we're out in space. He's not going to go anywhere, right? Like,
Uh huh.
so I understand it. It's a mite cold out there, Like, okay,
Uh
everybody
huh.
just calm down.
And then you see Kaylee and Jane come into the cargo bay
What's all the
and
yelling? What's going on? What's
put on
happening? Yeah.
startle Dobson, and he turns
Mm-hmm.
around and shoots the gun.
Kaylee
And you see
is in the
Kaylee
way,
fall.
right in the stomach.
Uh huh.
Yep,
Well,
everybody's upset. Anara comes rushing in. Zoe comes in with a shotgun. Yep,
hmm.
she's got it
And
trained.
and this is where you see that the Shepherd Book is a man of action. He grabs the gun away from Dobson and kind of knocks him down
Clocks him
until.
with it. Yep,
Hmm.
yep, yep. Takes him flat out, right? And then Zoe comes in and wants the gun away from the shepherd. Mal and Anara are on Kaylee, trying to help her out.
Simon's there looking at her wound and
Simon runs
everything,
over, right? He's
and
like,
then
lie back. How do you feel? What's going on?
you hear Wash say, "We've just been hailed by an Alliance cruiser,"
Ordering
and
to stay on course and dock for prisoner transfer. So
mhm,
they know everything at this
uh-huh,
point, right? Yep.
and you just see this look come on Simon's face, like,
Mm-hmm.
how's he going to get out of this? And then he realizes,
He stands up,
stands
looks at
up and
Mal,
says, "You're going to
change
run,
course, run.
change course, run." And Mal's
And
like,
Mal's,
"No,
hell
not
with
going to
you.
do it."
I'm giving you
He
the
says,
law. Like that happening.
"If you don't run, I'm not treating her." And he
Yep.
says, "I think you know how serious a shot to the stomach it is."
Do you know what a stomach wound does to a person? He says, I surely do. Do you know how critical the next few minutes are? Yeah, Anara's like trying to, Kaylee's all upset. She's like, everybody's so mad. She's crying. Anara's trying to calm her down. Zoe says flat out to Simon, you let her die, you're dead too. Like, that's it.
And he says, "What does it matter?" He
Yeah.
says, she'll still be dead." And,
Hmm.
Anara comes rushing over and she says,
Mal
Mal,
starts in with the Mal starts in with the you rich kids, blah blah blah
uh,
blah. You don't care about anybody, and Simon's like, I don't kill people. Mal's like, do your job. Simon's like, turn the ship around. Like everybody's just yelling and shouting, and Anara, like you said, stands up and
and says, do it.
enough.
And Mal reconsiders and he's like, Zoe, tell Wash to go.
Hmm.
And so they do.
We're running. Yep.
We're running. So then we come out,
Oh, this is yeah.
they,
Yep.
they carry Kaylee to the
Into
sick
a
bay,
small infirmary, right? It's kind
small
of beat up and
infirmary,
rustic, but
all
you can
this.
tell. Yeah. Yep.
Simon asks if Mal has certain things, and he says no. So he tells Amara to go get his med bag.
Go get my medical bag. Yep. And then they're
And
like, dope him. And he's like, when we're done here, you and I are going to have a conversation. Right.
yeah, and
And
so then
yeah, I love the next scene. It's my
uh,
favorite. It's all quiet. It
quiet.
fades in and out.
The,
Little
he's
images.
operating, and Mal and Anara are on either side, and you can just
Kind of
see
helping.
the look and the concern on their face.
Mm-hmm.
And then it
Mm-hmm.
kind of pans
And
over.
he's helping with he's helping like handing bandages, like that
Hmm.
Mal has been through stuff like this on the war because he's right there and he's in it. And then it pans back
Back,
out of
and
the infirmary and on top of a walkway.
you see Jane,
He is
and
hunkered
it's just like
over on
hunkered
his
over watching,
knees, like kind of rocking and like chewing
rocking
his
like
fingernail, looking through this little
so.
window, looking
Yeah,
at what's happening to Kaylee.
uh-huh.
And that breaks my heart
I
every
know because
single time.
he makes the crass jokes and everything, but he
But then
cares.
but he can't
This
even bring
when you
himself to go in there, right? He
uh-huh.
can't bring himself to go in there because he doesn't know what's going to happen.
It's
And I
when you
mean, he
start to
went after
think,
Dobson. He tried to go
uh-huh,
after Dobson after he shot Kaylee. And
uh-huh,
Book was the one who was like, not going to happen. I'm
not
not going to have him. And he's like, I don't care if you're a preacher. Get out of my way. He's a dead man. Like he shot Kaylee. That's it. It's over.
and he
Um,
would have, except Zoe told him back off, tie him up.
yep.
But it kind of shows, that maybe these people there is a family there.
There's a lot more there than there appears to be
They're
on
not
the
just
surface,
they're
right?
not just coworkers.
So this is like we're reaching the pinnacle. This is how you kind of know we're coming to the end of the first part of the show because we're reaching a pinnacle here, right? And then Simon's like, I can't do any more till she stabilizes. Mal's like, is she gonna? And he's like, I can't say it. And Nara's like, I want to know what the hell's going on here. And Mal's like, me too. How about we find out? And walks out of the
And
room. And Simon's like, oh, hey,
no,
wait,
no,
stop!
no,
What are you doing?
no.
What are you doing? And they go running down to the cargo bay. And Jane's got him like in a hold, right? He's got both of his arms pulled behind him
Uh-huh.
and they're like, "What are you going? What's going on? What's happening?" He's like, and I love this line with Mal. He walks over to this big crate that he saw Simon looking at, right? And he turns and looks at him and he says, "Let's see what a man like you is willing to kill for."
Yes.
Yep.
And
And
he
he
kicks the lid
kicks
off
off the
that box.
lid, and all of the steam and smoke and everything comes hissing out. And inside, curled up in what almost looks like a little womb,
A fetal position.
a fetal position, she's inside this little padded. It's a girl.
The girl.
It's a girl. The girl in the box.
And
Yep.
Mal just stands there and he's like, puzzled look
Ha!
on his face. Hmm.
Ha!
And
It's
that's the end of
HUHN. Literally goes, huh. That's the last damn thing I expected to be in that box. So yeah,
and that's
so
the end of part one.
that's the end of part one. And so the rest of the characters and all the other nonsense and business going on, we're gonna have to get to in 2 weeks because we are already way over the hour mark at this point, and we
Yes.
barely scratched the surface. So
Yeah, I think we might beat Mark von Olen's record.
well, we knew we were gonna. It's okay when it's the first show. It's okay when
Yeah,
it's the
we
first
had a
show,
lot to
right?
cover.
We did. But
We had to
thank you all
introduce and all
so
that.
much for
Yes.
joining us. Yeah, so much
Yeah.
story in a few minutes. Everything changes on a dime right at the end, right at
Hmm.
this last little piece here.
And I hope
Um,
you see how excited we are about this show.
yeah,
Um, you're going to give us suggestions, some things
please
you
do.
might.
Yeah, we want this to be a show that you're interested in and that keeps coming, keeps bringing you back and spending your Friday nights with us, right? Yeah.
Hmm. And this is
Oh,
not.
thanks,
Uh,
Chantel.
oh, um, and we are on an every other week schedule, so we won't be
Correct.
here next Friday, but the Friday after that.
Juneteenth, the 19th, will be
Uh-huh.
here. Yep.
Hmm. So now we got to take care of some business.
Absolutely. Well, the happenings going on at the VCN. The
This is
next
what
big thing.
will be Bunta Eve, Texas 2 Electric Boogaloo, brought to you by our main sponsor, NH LASIK. Um,
Associates.
so, um, got lots of great
Some incredible guests
lists
with
there.
autographs. All of these
Uh,
wonderful people will be at a special VCN event
mhm.
the first
The
weekend in
VIP
Texas.
the VIP tickets are sold out, but we still have less
About
than
50% left.
50% left of the regular tickets. If you're going to Rebel Scum Con, you got to
Hmm.
come to Boonta Eve. It is an event not to be missed. You will
Please do.
regret it.
It's
You'll regret it if you don't. I mean, you never know. Last year, we
we
had
had some
David Wood
amazing
and
people coming. I
Matt
can't wait.
Wood singing
Hmm. The
the
Huttese
what
song.
the Huntese song. It was amazing. I wasn't
Yeah.
there, but I've watched the video, and I
Watch the
do have
video.
FOMO.
Yes. All right. We also have Shinobi IT as one of our sponsors of our fantastic Bunta Eve event. And of
And
course,
Toynik. I
Toink,
think
Toink,
Toink.
all these wonderful things. Look at this. Yes,
I
we
want
have
that
lots of
tauntaun.
sponsors. Yeah.
Lovely sponsors.
Me too. All of these
Um,
wonderful people are making our special events at Barbascom Con happen. Thank you all so much for your support. We
ooh.
could not do it without you.
Oh, we also have next Friday though there is a show. Um,
Yes, for the next
the
few weeks.
the next week there our speaker series is back,
It's
and
alternating with us. Yeah.
Jonathan will be speaking with Stu Ziff, who
Hmm.
worked for ILM and worked on many
Like
Star
an
Wars
OG.
projects.
Yeah, like an OG here.
I think he
Seriously.
worked on Ghostbusters
Hmm.
um,
Hmm.
quite a bit.
Yeah,
Quite a bit.
lot
Yeah.
of ILM projects from the good old
Uh-huh.
days.
I'm sure he has lots of good stories. So please join in the network next week to see
Absolutely.
Stu
And then
Ziff.
there will be alternating weeks with us.
Ha ha ha! Thank you, Jeff.
Those will come later. Those will come later, I'm sure. Yes, fires and flies. Yes. Every other week it'll be us and then another speaker series for about the next couple of weeks. So we'll be keeping you busy
Mm-hmm.
here, starting off the summer season on the VCN.
Mm-hmm.
We're at the end of the week, so the only other major programming that's scheduled is the Jedi Archives or the
Jedi
Unifying Force.
Archives with the
Jedi
guys,
Archives, right? Is doing
Bryce,
Jedi
Mike,
Knights.
yeah, with Bryce, Mike, and Jonathan.
That's right. Jedi Knights number 10, the comic book. So join in. And then check out the schedule. It'll be released on Sunday. All new events and then new exciting things happening next week, moving forward. And of course, we hope we'll see you next time as well for Firefly
Mhm.
Friday.
Yes. Stay shiny, everybody.
Thank y'all.